Hello and welcome everyone, Larhart here, and today I've got some first look gameplay at 2 Point Hospital. Massive thanks to Sega and 2 Point Studios for inviting me up to the Sega UK offices a week or so ago to take a look at the game and record some of my gameplay. I'm allowed to show you guys 20 minutes of gameplay today, but I will absolutely be returning to 2 Point Hospital either slightly before launch if I get some more access, or obviously once the game launches. I'm definitely planning on streaming and recording this game for the channel. I absolutely loved Theme Hospital, and as this is a spiritual successor to that game, it just brings back so many fond gaming memories, and there's a lot of similarities but also a lot of new features and changes that 2 Point Studios have added in with their hospital management sim, with just a massive splash of craziness and humour. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to jump on in. I've tried to keep the clips of what I'm showing you as kind of full as possible rather than splicing it up into lots of different things, just because I wanted to give you guys a bit more of a continuous and flowing commentary while I take a look at the gameplay and talk about my actions and the features of the game while we go from the hospital at the start of the level to sort of midway through my gameplay on that level. So without further ado, Dr. Lionheart is in. Okay, so we're at Mitten University, and I've just plonked down a receptionist pod, which allows me to pop pretty much as many receptionists down as I can fit their desks on the work surface there. You can still go for individual desks if you want to, but at this level, this which is the 4th in the game, I believe, I just unlocked this, so I wanted to try it out with a couple of receptionists to try and ease the sort of patient flow. Next, I'm building a GP's office, which will need to do the initial diagnosis for any patients coming on in. You can actually see we've already got 3 patients just wandering around. So when you create a room on 2 Point Hospital, you get the blueprint first of all, where you can plonk down all the various items that you'll need. Again, obviously, a lot of similarities between this and Theme Hospital. 2 Point is essentially a spiritual successor to it, so there's a lot of similarities. In fact, I believe even some of the developers that worked on Theme Hospital have come together to work on 2 Point Hospital. In fact, I believe some of them actually founded the studio, 2 Point Studios, that's actually developing the game. So yeah, we've now got our GP's office down, and the next thing I'll need is a pharmacy to send any of the more minor ailments that the people in the game might be suffering from, the patients. So just plonking down the drug mixer, plant bin. This is bringing back so many Theme Hospital memories. I played so much of that game when I was younger, so I love the fact that it stayed very true to Theme Hospital. Obviously there's new animations, a lot of the menus go a lot deeper than Theme Hospital ever did, there's new ailments and what have you. So basically, if you liked what Theme Hospital did all those years ago, you will love 2 Point Hospital. It's one of the things I always find whenever I come back from a preview event is that not being able to come back and play more of the game is just such a killer, because watching this back now and adding some commentary to it, I'm just like, I just want to play more of this. It was so much fun, so addictive, and yeah, I can't wait to play more of this. So adding in some benches, and we've also added in a general diagnosis room as well to better diagnose patients and what have you. So just gonna plonk a bench down along the edge here, because as you can see, we've got a couple of patients that are waiting. And hopefully you guys can hear some of the tannoy announcements. They're true to form, same as Theme Hospitals were. They're absolutely bonkers. It's a solid, British sense of humour throughout this game, with the names of patients, the names of doctors. I didn't actually check while I was playing 2 Point Hospital whether or not you could actually rename doctors and patients and what have you, because I think that'd be lots of fun for a Twitch stream or something like that. It'd definitely be something I take a look at when I next get hands-on with the game. So now we're building a staff room, because obviously your doctors, nurses, receptionists will need somewhere to chill and get away from all those oh-so-wonderful patients that they'll be dealing with. Also whacking in a drinks machine and a snack machine. One thing I do really like, which we'll probably see slightly later on in this gameplay, is after a while you unlock the, I think it's salted snacks machine, which just increases the amount of thirst that your patient has, so you can kind of monopolize on that if you want to, and just put loads of salty snack machines down and then loads of drink machines, jack up the prices, and well, you know, if your patients are thirsty enough, they'll pay. Super easy to just plonk benches and things like that round, very easy to rotate everything, as you can see. Most things snap to tiles or underneath windows and things like that. So I'm going to get a janitor now, because we've got a couple of people in there and we haven't built a toilet yet, so they'll probably start peeing on the floor soon, because, you know, that's what people do when there's no toilets. Just told the janitor, though, to go and upgrade the drug mixer, though, so we can make it more effective at treating people. The upgrade system is really nice in 2 Point Hospital. I really like what they've done with it. And yeah, we've just unlocked radiators with these coupon points, or kudos points. I actually can't remember what they're called, but they're you get them basically for completing various tasks and what have you. And then you can unlock various items in the game. As you can see, we've got the coin op there as well, the sort of arcade machine. But yeah, whacking in radiators now, because you'll also, as you progress through the game, go to the later levels, you'll have to deal with all the various things that can affect your patients at your hospital, and obviously keeping them nice and warm is one of those things, and you can see that with the yellow glow around the floor. And as I said, people are peeing on the floor now, so time to build some toilets. And I just went all out on this toilet block here, just plopped it all the way down there. You can obviously see once the room blueprint goes blue, that's the sort of minimum required size for the room to be placed. One thing I do like as well in 2 Point Hospital is that you can actually, once you've completed the whole room, you can actually pick it up and move it around in its sort of built format, which is really, really useful if you want to, later on in the game, reconfigure without having to destroy whole rooms. See, I smashed down loads of cubicles, couldn't place the hand dryer on that wall, unfortunately, so have to rejig this a little bit and get rid of a cubicle. The janitor's still smashing the drug mixer to make it more effective, because that's how you upgrade things in 2 Point Hospital. And there we go, plonked it down. I love the little animation where it sort of bubbles up with the rooms. So yeah, it's come out with a message saying that we've exhausted all forms of diagnosis available for a patient, and we need to build other diagnosis rooms. And we've now got our research license. So as this was the 4th level in the game, part of the reason why I wanted to, for the most part, show you as much unedited footage of this in 20 minutes as possible, is because this is the level where you sort of unlock research and start working with that. And again, I think 2 Point Studios have done a great job of incorporating research into the sort of hospital builder as such. Makes a lot of sense how they've done it. I decided I wanted to create a whole separate research wing of the hospital, because this is a teaching hospital layout as such for this level. There's so many different plots that you can buy additional space for to expand your hospital. So I decided to pop the research wing, or research room I should say, in here. I'm going to build a research pod. I've got loads of pop-ups that I'm probably ignoring all over the screen here, but we've got a patient that's unhappy with the hospital and is storming out. Oh dear. So yeah, you've got to manage and balance patient sort of happiness, and you can see all that. They've included a lot of information and details behind the menus. Hopefully we'll have some of that coming up later on in the clip that I've got here for the gameplay. As I said, when I get a chance to show longer gameplay, longer footage, either slightly before launch or after launch, I'll probably, no, not probably, I definitely will be streaming this game, recording it and uploading it to YouTube as well. As I said, this is just so many Theme Hospital memories for me right now. But yeah, so start research. You have to just click on the pod, and then we can choose what we want to research. We need a researcher in there as well, though. And so once you research something in one hospital, it's shared across the whole organization, so your whole network of hospitals. which is pretty cool. But yeah, as I said, really like this way they've done this system of research here. So you've got a couple of projects to choose between. So you've whacked in X-ray, I believe, and we're now looking for a doctor that's got a research trait, which this one does not, and it's come up saying research qualification required to work in there. So we'll need to train our doctor up in order to get the research trait, which again, something they've built on from sort of what Theme Hospital did, because normally you would just sort of keep rolling the dice until a doctor with, say, the psychiatry trait came up or what have you, or in this case the researcher trait. Now, yes, you can do that. You can wait to see if there is a doctor available that you can hire that has the specific trait you want, but if there isn't, you can build a training room, which is what we're doing here. Obviously, you've got to build the desks and all that, trainee desks, and either if you've got a doctor already with a trait that you want to teach other doctors, you can get them to teach them, or you can basically hire a doctor from elsewhere in the 2 Point Hospital world to come and teach your staff. I think it's a really well thought out mechanic. It's actually probably one of my favourite additions that they've made to sort of the Theme Hospital formula for 2 Point Hospital. It just makes a lot of sense that that's how you would add further training to your staff and further abilities and what have you. So now just going through the training menu, so you basically select a course for the trait or skill that you want, clicked research, and then we've selected a trainer, so it's, unfortunately we don't have a doctor already at the hospital that knows the research trait, so we'll have to pay a bit more to bring in a doctor from elsewhere to share their knowledge and train some of our doctors. There's various filters you can see here, staff energy, hygiene, toilet, boredom, and all that, so you can go through all those to better manage your hospital as well. And yeah, adding in some radiators inside the rooms now, the GP's office, to make sure they get a little yellow hue to them to show that they're nice and warm. Keep all those patients toasty. In the toilet, though, I don't really have that much space to place that many radiators, so don't use the cubicles at the far end if you don't want a cold bum. I'd love to know if you guys can hopefully you guys can hear the tannoy announcements in the background. Let me know which is your favourite one that you hear throughout this video.
Plants need water.
Yeah, plants need water, but this one's like, don't pee on the floor. I wonder if there are cheat codes for 2 Point like there were with Theme Hospital, because I always remember when you did that, it would, over the tannoy, go, Hospital Administrator cheating. That is a sound bite that sort of still stays with me to this day from the original Theme Hospital. I cheated lots. Mainly to unlock the extra levels, I think, and give myself more money when I ran into debt. Speaking of money, if you do run out of it, you can take loans, which is good too. I'm currently spending some money on light-headed posters. When people suffer from light-headedness, which means they'll have a light bulb instead of a face, which is grand. Diagnosis decision. So yeah, we sometimes have these dilemmas where you've got to decide whether or not you try to treat the patient or send them home or make them wait because you don't necessarily have the right room to deal with them just yet. And yeah, some of the rooms that you can build for some of the ailments are just crazy. There's a pothead room where it's basically a pot extractor machine, which can sometimes fail, which can lead to some interesting results. There's also the clown treatment room. Can't actually remember what it's called. So we just actually spent some more points here on the Sega machine, the games machine, the arcade machine here, to basically prevent our patients from getting too bored. We've also put the leaflet or brochure stands up behind the reception pod as well. I'm just trying to work out where I want to pop it. So I think I end up moving some benches. I was trying to fit in the corner. Yeah, it's like that. That bench can go. Sell the bench. And yeah, I need some janitors because I noticed there's lots of mess on the floors, but then I haven't put bins. So we need some bins too, so that people don't just chuck their rubbish everywhere.
Nurse, please go to the pharmacy.
Now we've done that, we can go back to the coin op, which should fit. Yeah, there we go. And it's Sonic on the machine, which is awesome. Patient is unhappy because they need a toilet, they were thirsty, and I think they said they waited 124 days for a diagnosis. That's pretty bad. Whoopsie. More arcade machines, because everyone needs to chill now and then. I don't think I had a fire in the first 4 levels, but there are extinguishers should anyone catch on fire, or there be a fire in the hospital. It's probably, with 2 Point Hospital, more likely that people will catch on fire, though, I would imagine. Maybe machines go wrong. What we got here? Great environment. Staff challenge. I think I may have ignored this when I was going through it. So you can see the sort of the health, as it were, of the machine. So every so often you'll need the janitors to go in there and repair them. Plop some more bins down in the lecture hall. As you can see, we've got our visiting doctor with the research trait teaching the staff. So we'll soon be able to pop our trainees into the research lab, start doing some X-ray research for us. And again, they need some posters in there to remind them of all the horrible diseases that they could be facing and trying to treat while working at the hospital. Yeah, actually, something I wanted to mention as well. One of the diagnosis rooms for the whatever the clown disease is, I forget its specific name, is it's a big clown tent basically that you send them in to rid them of their clowniness. Oh, we completed the mission. Awesome. Yeah, we're only 61% sure of the diagnosis, so when that happens, you kind of have the dilemma of choosing: do you send the patient home, do you risk the treating them, or do you wait a little bit longer until you can get a better diagnosis? So now we just jump forward in the clips there. It's I think this is one of the patients suffering from night fever disease, as you can guess from his getup. You're playing some Sonic. But our researchers are ready. They're fully trained now, so they're going in and they're starting to research X-ray technology.
Will not be tolerated.
And if you've heard that tunnel announcement, yeah, urinating anywhere in the hospital will not be tolerated. Apparently, despite having this massive toilet section, people are still weeing on the floor. And that guy at the top of the screen just fell over in the wee. Lovely. That's delightful. Oh, and he's fallen over again, and it looks like he's hurt his groin. I don't think we have a room for that yet. But yeah, we need some more janitors to clean up all the wee that is now in my hospital. So yeah, they've all got traits and what have you. So there's a ghost trait on there as well, which that guy he's fallen over 3 times in Wii. I've discovered a new illness, Mockstar. Also, there was someone walking around that was all... There's a couple of them, actually. A couple of patients that are all grey. But we'll get back to that in a minute, because we've now got the 2 Point County Healthcare Award Ceremony. So, basically, your doctors can get awards every year for how they've performed, which is a nice little feature. We had no deaths, which I think actually was true for this hospital. There were many deaths, though, in one of the earlier ones I was at. So yeah, you've got the clown clinic if you want. We're currently building a psychiatrist's office though, and I've added in a ward as well now, and another GP's office, because you can see there's a note or a sort of icon over the GP saying that 6 people are queuing basically to get that initial diagnosis. Pop down the filing cabinet, the psychiatrist's couch, and a bookshelf. So that increases the prestige of a room, which I believe correlates to how well the doctor will be able to come up with a diagnosis or a treatment option. And then, yeah, obviously you've got the ward there with all the various beds, which the nurses look after for various patients. But yeah, the people that are walking around that are grey, that's a Grey's Anatomy disease, I believe. I think that might be... Is that the one linked to the one where they've watched too much TV, potentially? Occasionally you'll also have kind of... not epidemics, but like a pressing disease that suddenly happened, and you'll have to take in lots of extra people. And I think I've got a clip of that coming up in a second with lots of night fever incoming. So yeah, we're still working towards that X-ray technology and research. And there's actually now another researcher which we can pop in here. Chromotherapy required. Oh yeah, Gray's Anatomy is the new disease we've just discovered, but we also need a psychiatrist for that psychiatrist office that we just created. So we're going to pop in 2 more doctors to get that trait so that we can obviously work on that. Oh look, there someone's died. There we go. But at that very moment, night fever has been discovered as well. And we've got an influx of night fever patients, which if we can treat them, we'll get a sort of bonus payment. And you can see they've all got their little red and blue alarm light, as it were, going off over their heads, signifying that we need to try and deal with them soon, otherwise they are going to boogie their way through the hospital and cause absolute chaos. Bless them. They're having a great time, though.
Announcement. It's happening again.
It's happening again. Something is happening again. So yeah, we've got 12 patients queuing for the psychiatrist officer. That's why we need to get a psychiatrist trained and popped in there soon. Now we have clowns and what have you, and also just taking a look briefly at the price list, something I mentioned before, you can tweak and change the price of basically everything in 2 Point Hospital. So as I said, if you wanted to place loads of the salty snack machines and then jack up the price of the drink machines, you can do that. You can be quite evil of a hospital manager if you would like to. But obviously that can affect your reputation as well. But yeah, there's so much customization in 2 Point, and there's so much more to show you, loads more treatment rooms to show you and what have you in a future video when I get the chance to share more of my footage, or at launch when I will definitely be streaming that. Oh, the person that's died has just turned into a ghost, I think. That's good. There we go. That's bad for your reputation. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this first look. And apologies that I couldn't show you kind of everything. I'll definitely follow up with some more videos of 2 Point Hospital in the future, so let me know your thoughts on the game so far down in the comment section. Until then, don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Take pride in joining the Legion. Check out my affiliates and sponsors, Games Planet, Overclockers UK, QT and MSI. Until the next one, ciao for now.